I was 12 years old when I was diagnosed, pretty much. I started getting really bad headaches, migraines, right here behind my right eye, and that was the first sign of a tumor. And we went to an eye doctor thinking we needed eyeglasses. We went to Dr. Newmark and said, "You don't need glasses, there's something going on behind your right eye." And they brought in a brain surgeon to do a biopsy. After we remove a tumor, they take it and get tested, and it came back as sarcoma. And we didn't know what cancer was and what it did, but we knew it was a bad situation. So they weren't able to treat me in West Palm Beach, so I had to go to Miami Children's Clinic down in Miami, Florida at the time. And yeah, they decided to be really aggressive with the treatment because the cancer was so aggressive. 18 rounds of chemotherapy, 30 rounds of radiation. At that age, I was just getting into skateboarding. We had just got our first skate park built in West Palm Beach called Skateboard Safari. You know, I was about a year into skating at the skate park when I was diagnosed with cancer, so it was a big blow for me because I wasn't able to do skateboarding anymore, and I had to go get treatments and get rid of the cancer. So I was in remission, and at the time they said, if it doesn't come back in 7 years, you're cured. So at the 7-year point, I went back again and got all the tests, all the scans. No cancer, cancer-free. Back to life, going back to school, doing all the skate contests in Florida, NSA amateur series, doing all the cool stuff that kids do when you're growing up, working, skateboarding, surfing. Being a cancer survivor and being able to skate with one eye and everything back then, and being able to compete with all the best guys, just showed me that I had a good strength. It wasn't about being a pro skateboarder, I just liked the sessions. I just liked the brotherhood of it all, you know, the friendships, something that you keep forever. After my cancer, I started working at Woves cutting french fries. I was a french fry cooker at Woves. You know, I was already responsible. When you go through something real major like that in life, you put a lot of things in perspective. I just knew that if I got out there and did my own thing, worked and got my own money, and you know, I could do whatever I needed to do. 25 years later, in 2003, I started getting a runny nose. I went to see a regular doctor. She said, "Oh, it looks like you got a nasal infection." So I did 10 days of antibiotics, didn't get any better. Went back to her and said, "This isn't really working." And she goes, "It looks like there's some angry nose polyp in there and it's growing. So I'm gonna send you over to Dr. Raj in Wellington." He was a nose, head, and neck specialist, and he looked inside my nose and he said, "Looks like your tumor came back." I go, "There ain't no way no tumor could come back 25 years later." So he went in and did a biopsy and removed the tumor, and it came up the same kind of cancer I had when I was a kid. So at the time, it was the worst news you could ever get as a human being. Boom, you're just going back to fight for your life again, you know. So went down to Miami. I had a doctor look at me and said, "Yeah, we have never did your procedure, but we're willing to give it a try." And I was devastated. My girlfriend Jill was down there with me, and we were both crying afterwards because we didn't know what to do, and I had to go back home and think about it. Where's the 4 best places to go in the United States? The closest place to me at the time was Memorial Sloan Kettering in New York. And I went up there and made an appointment and went and seen Dr. Singh. He goes, "Mike, you'll be the 46th person to have the procedure done. We're really good at doing the procedure, and it's going to be a cranial facial resection with a brain lift. You're going to have like a 17-hour procedure done, and we're going to remove the cancer, but we don't know if you're going to be able to skate. So we're going to save your life, but we don't know what the quality of your life is going to be afterwards." So at the time, they were the only people really doing those procedures. I did the surgery, and it was a great outcome. They did a great job on me up there, and my girlfriend Jill came after surgery and looked at me. It doesn't look that bad. You look pretty good. And I was like, yes, I made it. I made it through the surgery. So after that, I knew I could get back to my strength. I was really lucky that in this world that we live in, that there's people that take the time to go to school and help people like me and help save people's lives, so I'm very grateful. I try my best to do my best for others, and just the doctors to be able to save people's lives like that. I can't take stuff for granted. I gotta do my part too. I had to cash in my retirement to get through my illness. At the time, I lost my job. I had to use up all my retirement fund to get through my illness. So financially devastated, but I'm alive, so I was able to have the retirement fund to get to New York to get back, but a lot of people don't have that. So a lot of people think they can be treated in their own community, and then they get this devastating news that they got to travel out of state. For me, I was lucky. I was able to get up to New York with good insurance that I had and get through paying my bills while I was gone. After getting through that, all the expenses and stuff, everybody came together and we had a benefit called the Grind for Life. All the Brotherhood of Skateboarding came out from Florida. Mike Vallely came down, skated for us. It was just a moving day, and after that, I just seen there was a need for people who were traveling for long distances for cancer care, and it didn't really take a lot to help them. Why don't we do this all the time, like why don't we have these kind of events that help people? And yeah, that's kind of like where the vision came from, was that benefit. All right, we're here at the Clash of Claremont 6. A little bad on the weather today, a little rainy, but people are still coming together to help people with cancer. We're skateboarders, we don't give up, and they always support the good cause, and thank you for everybody for your support through the weather. We're doing it. Everybody wants to do good, but sometimes they don't know where to get involved at. So for action sports to have Grind for Life and everybody can be a part of it and help save people's lives has been a good thing, So to wake up every day and know that you're doing good and you're making a great impact as a human, giving back as a person to help save people, it's a great feeling. Dr. Singh said you couldn't be in a better spot in your life, Mike, with skateboarding, your passion, and helping people with their travel expenses. And right now I have a great balance in my life with doing these events all over the country and educating the community on cancer survival and recovery and helping people. It's been a great journey. It's good to be able to know that you kick cancer's butt twice and show people too that cancer doesn't always win. People prevail and you get back to life and doing good things.